Today, on What the Heck is Happening in HR, we're going to talk about things that I think we're missing as we do hiring. What are we really thinking about and what are we doing? And has it just become a task and not the strategic impact item that it can have? That's today on What the Heck is Happening in HR. For our podcast disclaimer, please visit the episode description. Thanks for coming back to What the Heck is Happening in HR. And today we're going to talk about talent acquisition because talent acquisition and recruitment is what leads to retention. And I'm really seeing some trends. Now, we have a tendency to talk about things no one else is talking about. We're talking about difficult conversations or trends I just see because I have a real blessing by being exposed to so many clients and so many people from my students and their companies and what they're seeing in their organizations. And then I read all the time and I'm have relationships with some really, really smart attorneys and other HR business people like benefit brokers and that. So I want to talk about what I think we're missing with talent acquisition. I want to start with that job description. So many times we just don't even pull it out and look at it. But yet, it's the item that we use around workers' comp. It's the item we use to determine what the essential functions are in disabilities. It's the item we use to see how someone is going to be successful. And sometimes, unfortunately, people only pull it out when they say, oh, they're not doing the job. Well, have they been? Maybe those have been the expectations, and what you have written is not. I just think we need to be very transparent in what we're trying to have them do in the job. So, when you pull that job description out, when you're told that we need someone, it's not a pizza order. And I tell my students all the time, they don't get to call up and go, hey, Mary's leaving and we're going to need another one of those software engineers. So, get me one of those. No, no. We need to say, okay, I hear you. Let's sit down and make sure this is all what you need. And I'm going to shoot over the job description to you. I want you to review that. Perhaps Mary can review it. Let me know. I'll schedule some time with Mary and see where the job description perhaps has changed. And then really think about what's needed. Are some of those tasks, can they be absorbed into other jobs? Not to add more work to those jobs, but perhaps those jobs have changed as well. Is it a full-time job? Is it a part-time job? Is it an opportunity to test that job sharing program you've been wanting to do? Does it need to be done inside the corporate office or inside the office? Is a diploma really needed? This is a huge change that I'm seeing where we had diploma inflation. Oh, you had to have gone to a university. I can tell you right now, there's a lot of people that wish they knew a really good auto mechanic. And here in Florida, in particular, and in North Carolina, where they're dealing with trees and problems from the water, we really could use plumbers. We really could use electricians. Really could use truck drivers. We really could use tree trimmers. I mean, we need those people. And so the experience they may have had from the jobs that they worked perhaps are things that will lend themselves to the jobs that you have. There are so many colleges today that are offering those life experiences that they can get credit for what they've done in their life. And that way they're not sitting in a classroom just learning, if you will, through the books. They perhaps have already experienced it and can take a higher level class that will help them marry that education and the experience. So ask yourself when you're looking at that job description, do we need a diploma? Maybe we need a certificate. Maybe we need people who have continuous learning. Maybe we need to have people who have been involved in community organizations. What is it you're trying to do? And does it have to be at that level? Is it a junior person? Is it a senior person? I'll tell you, one of the things that really infuriates me and really, I think is a slap in the face to HR and to an organization's integrity is when they go, just post the position, whether, as an engineer, junior to senior. What? What are you saying? Do you have no idea what work you have? Do you have no idea what level of work you need? I mean, if there are people who can absorb more senior things now, why aren't you promoting them? Why aren't you moving them? Why aren't you recognizing them? Why aren't you rewarding them? But when you just post it and go, let's just see what we get. I mean, that just is employer by chance. You just deserve what you end up getting just showing up in your email box. Please be more targeted than that. Please be more transparent with your current employees. Can they pick up some other duties so they have opportunities to enrich their jobs? And can you provide an entry level position that would make more sense? And that way, that person gets exposed to employees who are really happy because they're feeling valued and their contributions and their ideas are being acknowledged. What about technology? Is the technology there that can enrich this job? Can technology even take part of the mundane tasks? I mean, I can tell you, I use AI. I love AI. I'm using it more and more. It's teaching me how to think through things better and better. So, how do I use it? Well, obviously with my movies and Netflix and things like that. But I also use it with my grammar. I make sure that I have my dangling participles have been taken care of. And sometimes it doesn't make sense. I want to say what I want to say. And so I don't use their suggestions. It doesn't write it for me, it just gives me additional ideas. And when you're a solo entrepreneur like I am, you need somebody once in a while, and maybe that somebody is AI to be able to say, have I forgotten anything? So, technology can certainly pull some of the routine, mundane, perhaps scheduling items that can happen in order to enrich the job. But I also think we are missing out on doing interviewing training. Your supervisors still don't know how to interview. They're asking illegal questions or questions that are not lawful to ask, or they're asking them in a way that's sneaky, that's not making the new hire, potential new hire, feel comfortable. Are you basing those interview questions around that job description and around the values of your organization? If people aren't a fit, did you even evaluate them against the values? If integrity is such a big deal in your organization, but you don't do background checks, what are those things that just aren't making any sense in your world? Oh, we have a great wellness program. Okay, but then when that applicant comes in for a live interview, they walk past the pop machine or soda machine, if you will, and through a vending machine that has nothing healthy in it. Now, I'm all for non healthy stuff at times, don't get me wrong. But we need to know, are we being congruent in what we're saying and what we're doing? Are we walking our talk? I think the biggest thing I'm hearing from candidates right now is plain old rudeness. The ghosting they are getting from HR departments and hiring managers, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to the function. Kelly, we have so many candidates and I don't know what to say to them, and say something. Let them know the job is filled. Let them know that they were terrific and you want to hang on to them, but you don't have a position right now. Talk to them. That's one of the things I hated about being called human resources because we're not something to be used up. And I really think that name change made us be like, well, the financial resources are spent, and now we're spending the human resources. I never liked that. But, anyways, that's a podcast for another day. But let's not ghost people because it shows our brand. Do we really value people if we just don't even reply to them? Do we not even let them know? Do we think, well, so what? Don't do that. They are so frustrated. The candidates don't even really want to consider you anymore because this is how you've treated them. How are you breaking the trust already? And they haven't even started working for you. So I'm asking you to kick it up a notch. Make sure that come year end, come end of every month that you take a moment and say, okay, did I respond to the people first? And did I improve? What could we do? If we didn't respond to them, call them. Say, I noticed I never responded to you. You're probably ticked off. Besides responding to you with some information and not ghosting you, what could we have done better? Feedback is a gift that allows us to get better personally and allows our processes to get better and to get more efficient. We can't shy away from that. We can't shy away from critical feedback. Oh, I've had feedback that made me sit in the truck and cry and wake up crying. Oh, don't think it hasn't. And it happened years ago, and I'm still crying about it. But at the same time, it was what I needed to hear and when I needed to hear it. Sometimes I just didn't know that at the time. So I'm sharing this feedback. Let's be better in how we hire. Let's be better in how we recruit. And let's be better so our retention numbers are better. Because when people are working in an environment they enjoy, magical things happen for the organization. And some of those magical things happen when you listen to what the heck is happening in HR. We hope that light bulbs go off in your mind so that you know how to apply this. Please subscribe. We are on every one of those podcast platforms out there.